Now, the war in Ukraine has entered its 48th day. Port city of Mariupol has been completely battered in the last 5 weeks of relentless shelling. And according to Mariupol mayor, around 5,000 people, including 210 children, since the Russian forces laid siege on Mariupol have been killed. While Russia has claimed that Mariupol has already fallen into the control of Russia, Ukraine has now said that it has fought back Russian troops. Ukraine has dubbed it the last battle of Mariupol. In Mariupol, this drama theatre that has been serving as a shelter for hundreds of civilians was bombed by Russian troops, reducing it to complete rubble. You see before and after images. In fact, you see that theatre that's been completely gutted down. Unfortunately, that theatre once that housed several nights of revelry and art, now resembling a ghost shelf. Over 300 people have been reportedly killed in bombings in Mariupol. About 140,000 people have fled Mariupol through the Sea of Azov before the Russian siege began. That city now, the port city, completely ravaged. Now, Bashtanka, a suburb of Mykolaiv, is under attack. Non-stop shelling from Russian troops has almost reduced the city into complete dust. My colleague Moshmi there brings us this ground report from that combat region.
Shelled, shaken, destroyed. Over a month of brutal assault on Ukraine has left many towns in ruins. Bashtanka, a suburb of Mykolaiv, is one of them. Non-stop shelling from Russian forces has almost reduced the city to dust. Mykolaiv itself is not spared. Relentless attacks by Russians have razed the Mykolaiv airport to the ground.
The sound of music greeted the customers as they reached the international airport of Mykolaiv. But now there is only sound of silence and destruction. This is the picture of an airport which was of great strategic importance. Only airport in this area that actually could have had modern facilities and heavy planes could land in this area. But just take a look. This is the view of the entry point. You enter from that gate. That is the gate, and the gate looks like this. The entire glass is, of course, shattered, and you entered, and you would see a modernized airport. But what you see is only destruction here. Some volunteers, their jackets also lying here, and glasses. We are told we cannot go inside because there are some active ammunition still. But Dimitro sir, who's the public relations officer, who's brought us here, getting you these exclusive pictures. Dimitro sir, the Russians have been targeting your airports, and this airport was bombed because they couldn't take control of it.
Yes, they don't have control of this airport, and when he misunderstands, they bombing airports. This is first and last airport international Mykolaiv, and Mykolaiv region too.
In Bashtanka, residential areas have also been hit hard.
In good old days, this counter would provide heal and cure and medicine to the people who were sick. But you can see that this counter is turned into a rubble. Medicines burnt, destroyed pamphlets. This counter looks like one dilapidated shop. It doesn't even look like a semblance of a shop. And here you can see how people are picking up the pieces here. A doctor's coat, some medicines, some pamphlets, and pieces of decoration. This side was a pharmacy, and here what you see was a bakery shop that ran. It was a very famous bakery by the name of Small Bakery. Bekarna is what they call in their language. and this bakery used to serve pastries and muffins to children. It was a favorite joint for the people of Bashtanka, but perhaps they will have to live with this hopelessness for a while, because the Russian troops actually reached Bashtanka village hoping to reclaim Mykolaiv.
Russian shelling, however, hasn't broken Ukrainians' will. Ukrainian troops are fighting back the invaders in Mykolaiv. They've seized more than 115 tanks as well as trucks with heavy ammunition.
This is a symbolic picture of how the Russian forces are facing a stiff, aggressive Ukrainian defense force. This is a Russian truck, Ural, that you see on which we are standing, and how this has been completely destroyed after being bombarded. This truck was actually heading to a Russian base point where it was carrying cruise missiles, a lot of ammunitions, almost 80 ammunitions that it was carrying to target Bashtanka village. And here you can see that these broken parts, these plates, of course this has been sanitized, but 890 is the number that you see. Some signs of the manufacturing of this Russian truck that was carrying cruise missiles, we are told. And here on the tire, you can see that made in Russia, made in February 1995. So February 1995, made in Russian truck that is completely burnt right there. The steering wheel and the cabin completely destroyed. Here you can see that nothing is remaining. They had actually, the Ukrainian forces, sanitized this entire area. This is the door that is actually jutting out of this truck. And of course, the attempt by the Russian forces was actually defunct because of the alertness of the Ukrainian forces, who did air raids only after the Russian troops were fleeing. This truck was also fleeing from the location, but before that it met its fate. And here India today, in fact, is the only Indian crew to reach Bashtanka, which is on the outskirts, far away from Mykolaiv. But all the entire region of Mykolaiv is facing a lot of fire, a lot of combat on the periphery, because the Russians are just on the doorstep at Kherson, and they want to take Mykolaiv, which is the last barrier standing, to capture the entire southern part of Ukraine and cut it off from the sea. With video journalist Parminder Sharma, getting you all the ground reports from the war zone in Mykolaiv and Ukraine for India.
Now, amid unprecedented face-off, locals in Mykolaiv are forced to flee. My colleague Washmi Singh there, who's been reporting from across the war-torn city, brings us this ground report. Let's have a look.
They left everything behind and traveled in this bus, hoping that they were reaching to safety. A mother and a daughter. Here you can see in this bus that just arrived in Bashtanka, almost 30 people got down off this bus. You can see it is very cold, and they are coming from Snegirovka, which is in Mykolaiv, which is under Russian occupation. First we'll show you the state of this bus, which is completely, the glasses are shattered, it's been covered, it's in mud, and there is a writing that has been written all around this bus. Even in the front, you can see that in black, this has been sprayed, saying that this is a children's bus. Are they killing people, civilians? What is the scene there? Describe to us.
Гражданские погибают там.
Не, пока не видно. Ну, там, когда они бомбили, взорвался дом, то умер, да, один, я знаю. А так раненые есть, ну, а так я сильно не знаю, там, че умирают много, че нет.
I don't have full information. I know exactly when they bombed one of building, one civilian was killed, but a lot of people who have damages, of course, injured.
So here you can see an elderly woman. She's got a stick in her hand, 2 bags, and that's the picture of the humanitarian crisis that is, in fact, ravaging this entire country. With video journalist Parminder Sharma, this is Mosmi Singh in Bashtanka for India Today.
Ukrainian city of Dnipro is under heavy shelling from Putin's troops. Russian rockets have completely destroyed the airport of that city. My colleague Gaurav Sawant sent us his ground report from that area of Dnipro while he was en route. Let's have a look.
The administration at Dnipro has asked the women, the elderly and the children to evacuate given the intensification of operations towards the east and the south of this country. The situation in Ukraine is extremely grim. My camera person Lalit Mohan Joshi and I are now on our way to Dnipro from Kyiv. It's about 500 kilometers. It's 6 in the morning, and that's the time that curfew is lifted. And vehicles and civilians are permitted to come out on the streets. So we are on our way to Dnipro to get you the latest from ground zero. India Today gets you the latest from the heart of action, and we have the biggest team of reporters from Kyiv to Dnipro to Mykolaiv to Donbass, getting you a 360-degree perspective on the developments on this big story. This is now day 48 of the Russia-Ukraine conflict.